think it's time we as a staff, as a company, and as a motherfucking record label start decentering men. Yes. Because y'all, why in the world do we spend our teenage years, our 20s, some of us spend our 30s and 40s, some of us is in our 50s, still centering men in our fucking lives? Why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because we are groomed and taught from the day that we are born to center men, right? From a very young age, from birth, we are taught how to be wives, how to be mothers. We don't really get taught how to really, really, really take care of ourselves, right? We don't really get taught that. A lot of us don't get taught that. I know specifically me, specifically the black queens, the black girls in the black community, we don't get taught how to love ourselves. We don't get taught how to take care of ourselves. We get taught how to love and take care of everybody else. Yes, this is a big thing. This is a big issue. Specifically, men. Now, me, y'all, I grew up with three older brothers. I was born into a family that already had three boys. And when I tell y'all, our life was revolved around taking care of other people because I grew up with three brothers, and then my sister and my brother were born after me, right? So I took care of them, and I also took care of the house, the household, everything, cooking, cleaning, things like that, right? My older brothers, my mom taught them how to cook and stuff like that, but they just didn't have the level of responsibility that was put on to me, right? And then when I was like in my before I became like a teenager, a preteen, y'all, when I was younger, I would say when I got to around 11 years old, maybe like 10, 11 years old, maybe even 9, that's when I started to like daydream about having like a life with somebody, right? About having a man, getting married, all the shit, right? All the love stuff, right? That's when I started really being like, I can't wait to like be in love. Like I remember I used to listen to Chris Brown with you, look out the window, y'all, at the stars and the moon, and just could not wait to be in love. And it's just like, why do we spend our whole entire lives like that, right? So I spent my whole first half of my life taking care of other people, getting to know other people and what they needed and what they wanted, right? And then once I got to like my preteens and stuff like that, like when I got to like 11, 12, that's when you start having boyfriends and thinking you're in a relationship, thinking you're in love, right? So then I started thinking I was in love with people, stuff like that. It was always revolving around a man. It was always revolving around others. It was never revolving around self. And this is a problem, y'all. I see this with so many women. It's not just me, it's not just you, girl. It's all of us. That's why I said, as a staff, as a record label, whatever Tupac said, okay? We need to decenter these men. This is getting out of hand, okay? We need to decenter these men and center ourselves. Because guess what? Centering somebody else is never going to end up well for you. It's never going to end up well for you. You have to decenter everybody else and center yourself. Start taking care of yourself. Start getting to know you. Start pouring into you. And that is when you're going to meet your true love, meet your soul tribe, meet the people who are supposed to be in your life to love you unconditionally, right? You have to love yourself unconditionally first because that's how the energy works out, okay? That's how the energy works. I have a video on the energy of love, okay? It's no other way around it. You have to take care of you first if you want others to take care of you. Okay? So I think that we need to start reteaching love, right? We need to start reteaching these young ladies, these young girls love, right? We need to teach them that love is something that you pour into yourself and then it overflows out onto others. And that's not saying be selfish or like in a bad way. It's not saying like don't give a fuck about nobody else. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is pour into yourself so that you can be able to give a fuck about everybody else, right? Because when you don't pour into yourself, even when you're giving to others, you're not able to give them the real. You're not able to give them the most that you can give them because you don't have it in there to give, right? You can't give nothing that you don't have, right? So you have to fill yourself up with all the things that you would like to give to other people, that you would like to overflow onto other people so that it can. Because if you don't fill yourself up, it will not overflow. There's nothing in there to overflow, right? So we need to start teaching love in that way. We need to stop teaching these young girls that love is with somebody else because it ain't. Okay? Love is something that begins right in here. And anything that does not come and start from in here is going to fail. Anything is not already planted inside of you, is not the seed that's growing into the flowers outside of you, into your garden, is going to fail. You plant the seeds inside of here, and the garden outside of you will bloom, right? Because the water from inside of you is overflowing, right? Right. So it starts with you. And we need to start teaching these young girls that that's how love really works. Yes, it's important to teach these girls and everybody, boys, girls, everybody, because this is really for everybody. This is for human beings, period. But I'm really talking to the girls right now, but this is for everybody. We need to start teaching these kids that love yourself first. It's important that you treat others good. It's important that you treat others right. But if you are mistreating yourself, you can't 100% treat others the way that you would like to. You can't 100% give others what you would like to give them. Everything you give them is broken because you're not giving it to yourself first, right? Everything in here has to be running smoothly before you can go out and put more out into the world, right? So we need to start decentering these men. We need to start teaching these kids that they don't need to be decent. I mean, that they don't need to be centering men. We need to really just deconstruct the whole idea of love and falling in love. We need to be making these girls spend their first few years in their first teenage years and their even in their early 20s falling in love with themselves, right? Because the reward is you get people in your life who love you truly, not a fake love, not a toxic love, not a fucked up love, a very real, very solid love because it's coming from within. It's a reflection of what how you love yourself, right? So when we teach them that, hey, you can get a true love, but this is the only way that that can happen, they're gonna want to fall in love with themselves, right? So we have to start teaching them. Finding true love is finding it within yourself first, decentering anything that's not coming from it within here first, right? Get into your hobbies. Get into your passions because one thing about it, we spend our whole entire early lives chasing men, chasing love, and I mean, because there are lesbians, right? We spend our first years chasing love, right? And we forget about everything that we wanted as a kid. We forget about our passions. We forget about so many things because we're trying to get married, have kids, do the whole nine, and we haven't even taken the time to really get to know us, to really pour into us, and to really just pour into ourselves. We have not done that. And it's a large amount of women who have not done it. And it's so sad because I feel like we get beat down for not doing it, but they're not teaching us how to do it. Nobody is teaching us how to pour into ourselves from a very young age. There's like out of 10 women, there's going to be like 2 women who actually were lucky enough and blessed enough to have parents who taught them these things, right? And then you have some of us who were in the middle who were taught, okay, you respect yourself, taught morals and values, but we still were not taught to be centered within ourselves first. We were not taught how to genuinely love ourselves first. We weren't taught that. And then we get beat down about it. Oh, you had this many kids. Oh, you did this, you did that. Yeah, society is telling me to do that. My parents told me to do that. Hello? Like, we're not getting taught this shit, then we're getting chastised and judged when we play out exactly what we were supposed to be playing out. This is what we were taught to do from a very young age. We didn't know about loving yourself first, and then you can find somebody who will treat you right and reflect how you treat yourself. We didn't get taught that, and it's not fair, right? So I'm saying to us right now, even if you didn't get taught that as a kid, I'm talking about us. I don't care what age you're at. I don't care how you're feeling. I don't care what situation you are in. You have the power to take back your power. You have the power to change your life. You are a woman, right? You have the power to do something different. I don't care what stage you're in. It's never too late. It's never too late to make a change, right? So let's make a change, y'all. Let's decenter these men. Let's center ourselves and really, really, really go back to the drawing board, right? What would I be doing right now if I was a little girl daydreaming? What would I want to do? And go do it. Pour into yourself. Love yourself. Forget about the men. Forget about if he texted you back. Forget about if he called you. Forget about who he's with. Forget about who he's on Facebook liking their posts. Forget about everything and think about you for once in your life. Think about yourself for once in your life. Be selfish for once in your life. Pour into yourself for once in your life. You deserve it. And you have the power to do it. And look around and take note of everything in your life. Take note of how your life has ended up. Take note of what centering men has really done to your life. Has it done more good than bad, or has it done more bad than good? I know for me, centering a man never did shit for me. Never did shit for me, okay? Centering a man in my life has never done anything for me, okay? Except for bring me down. And I'm not saying that to say men are not shit. I'm not saying nothing about men. What I'm saying is they gonna center themselves. They're not gonna sit up there and forget about everything about them just to appease to a woman or just to be running up behind a woman and chasing love. They're not gonna do it. They're gonna make sure things are in order with them, and then they're gonna be like, okay, now I can focus on love or whatever. Some of them, okay, because I guess this is kind of for everybody. However, women, let's decenter these men. Let's center ourselves and let's really, really, really love on ourselves, y'all. Let's really pour into ourselves. Let's get some hobbies. Let's go after that dream that we had when we was a 5-year-old kid. Let's daydream about ourselves. Let's fall in love with ourselves because guess what? That's how it should have been from the jump. That's what we should have been getting taught from the jump. I'm sorry that nobody ever taught you that. I'm sorry that you didn't get the right guidance. I'm sorry that you had to go through all these ups and downs in life to realize that you should love yourself first. And when I say I'm sorry, y'all, I'm talking to me too, baby. I'm apologizing to me too, okay? I am sorry, but we have the power to change it now. Leave that relationship if it's a toxic relationship. Decenter those men if that's all you are focused on. Pour into yourself and you tell me how that goes. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will be seeing you in my next video. Bye.